me? Thank you. Hi, it's good to see you all again. I'm glad that you made it back. So I know last week we went over the power and control wheel, and I was just wondering if any of you, like after learning some of the language, maybe some of the things that happen to LGBTQ people within their homes or, you know, outside of their homes, if any of you guys have noticed any changes, maybe in your behaviors, maybe in the way that you're thinking about these issues, or maybe even in some of the actions inside the house or at school with the boys. So, Carol, do you mind if we start with you?
Yeah, I was really surprised and never really looked at this whole hetero privilege, I guess. And I mean, I hope I didn't raise my son that way, and I think that there's so many things that I've seen, you know, through our town, and especially going to football games, Vincent games and stuff, of just, I don't know, this it just seems really underlooked, I guess. Like, it's unexamined, I guess you could say. And I mean, I never really noticed how hard it must be for Kurt coming out and, you know, being one of the only kids at school and getting picked on, and then nobody protects them. I don't know. It breaks my heart. It's been a really rough week for me, actually.
And I don't know if this is true or not, but can you tell me, like, is this a new subject for you since Kurt and Bert have entered your life? Is this something new that you're having to think about?
I mean, I guess it's something that's more personal now, definitely, because I definitely, you know, think of Kurt as a son to me. And before, I mean, yeah, I like watching, you know, shows like Project Runway or something, or The Career for the Straight Guy. Like, but I don't know. I guess I always thought that I was so open-minded, and I guess it's easier said than done. Yeah.
Well, thank you. And Bert, so you, whenever we were going over the wheel together, you expressed, I guess, some surprise, some new language as well, even though you've had some experience. Has anything changed for you this past week?
Well, I think that, I realized how much of the stuff that I used to do when I was in high school that kids are now doing to Kurt. I realized how much of that I actually did do by going through that wheel and realizing, oh, I remember this time. So it's sort of I've been feeling a little guilty this week, I guess, because just thinking about how much I might have hurt someone, seeing how much my son has been hurt, and how much I may have contributed that to someone. But on the same token, I also, Carol and I have sort of been talking about it, and I would not have been as aware had I not had Kurt as my son. So I probably would have still been in that same older mindset. And so it feels good that I have evolved, but then you think about all the other people that were in my shoes before that don't have exposure or experience with someone who is gay, and that they're still in that. So it's kind of a scary thought to think that there's so many people out there that could harm and hurt Kurt still.
Yeah. But how fortunate for you that you have the experience and have been able to grow.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah. And now you're getting that chance as well. And have you and Bert, is this the first time that you're hearing about the feelings that Bert's having about the guilt of some of his actions in the past? Do you guys talk about this?
We talked a little bit that night about it. I think we were both kind of shocked, and we definitely aren't the people we were, you know, when we were kids. And, you know.
So Finn, what are some things that are going on with you regarding like what you learned last week? Any changes over the past week?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like looking through that wheel thing and then like seeing some like kind of the language that was used, and it kind of made me feel like made me realize that what I was doing was a bigger deal than I thought it was. Like hearing the word like abuse and things like that, in terms of like just, you know, the word I said, which I feel like I made pretty clear that I know it was a big deal, and I was extremely apologetic for it, and I never meant to hurt anyone by it, but just like hearing that kind of a language attached to the things that like I have done in the past, and kind of like Bert was saying too, and then like my friends do at school, and it just kind of happens and no one really notices it because people don't talk about it in that language, and people don't realize how big of a deal it is and how much it can affect someone. So I think I just kind of tried to tie some of that like meaning to my actions and the way I see other things, because I don't want stuff like that to happen in my life and for me to like not even think it's a big deal, because it is. And like seeing how much it affects Kurt, like I know that causes real pain, and that can be a big deal in someone's life. So I think it's kind of just made me more aware of like the gravity my actions and words and things like that can have.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's exactly the point. I mean, that was why, you know, I wanted you all to see that as a family. So that's really awesome that you got that, Finn.
Yeah, it's cool.
Good. So Kurt, how does it feel to hear Finn talking about how he's sort of putting it together, that it's a bigger issue than just, you know, bullying at school?
It feels really good. And, well, like, there were some things on the wheel that I didn't even know were going on. So, I mean, like, it was educational for me, too, to hear about just how other people could be affected by this. But it feels really good to know that, you know, my family is invested enough in my well-being to be here in therapy and, you know, care about me like that. Feels really good.
Yeah, so awesome that you have such a supportive group coming together behind you. Even though there was a rocky start, and it just seems like there's a lot of potential here for growth as a family. And you guys, I think, will continue to grow. I mean, because it seems like you guys were thinking about it over the past week, and we probably will continue to think about it. And we can go over it again anytime as things come up.